devil, and yet the Reverend goes still, and he will walk right into this lake of hellfire with the devil, as long as the devil called him Reverend or Father. Some and the devil disciple are called Father after the Pope, the chief father of Satan religion, Christianity. The Pope claimed in the Bible that he would sit in the side of the north and be like the Most High, Isaiah 14:13-14. And yet Allah God promised to pull him down to hell, Isaiah 14:15. Allah is going to pull him down real fast. The home of the Pope have gotten one of the worst beaten with plague, snow, and ice. Enemy, the worst beating that you ever could have imagined coming to the head of the church. That shows that Allah God, the supreme being, does not respect Rome. And his father, whom they call the Pope. If it was a holy place, we would not expect to suffer the curse of nature. We who live in America live in a cursed country. America is a cursed country. America is a divine place of the exile for Allah enemies. And he promised to use America now for a lake of fire in which to burn all his enemies. The Indians, the first people who were sent, who immigrated to America. The Indians was also the enemies of Allah. Self first. The rebels are the enemies of their own black people. If the preacher do as the white slave master tell them to do, the white slave master killed them, as he did Reverend Martin King Jr. But since they are the devil disciple, he should kill them if they do not obey him. That is right. If the devil wants to be a God like Allah, for Allah will kill those who do not obey him. So the devil killed those who he sent, who will not obey him. So look out, reverends. Be careful, reverend. We see this white slave master have proved in our own eyes and hearing by killing Reverend Martin King Jr., who thought he was blessed to go to heaven, but instead he went to hell with his enemy. I do not mean a hell that is in the earth someplace, brothers and sisters. Reverend Martin King Jr. went to hell in the wickedness of his white enemy, trying to satisfy his white enemy. He gets no credit for all the work that he did for his enemy, and his enemy knows that. Dare anyone of the Christian theologists to try to prove that Reverend Martin King Jr. went anywhere else. You see, good man that he was. We see Reverend Martin King Jr. was deceived and frightened by the very heart, by the enemy. Self first. Think for self first. Reverend Martin King Jr. talked with me at my home. I saw in him that he wanted to believe me, but he was so afraid of his enemy. Self first. You cannot serve two masters. I tried my best to put the fierceness in him. We see Reverend Martin King Jr. admitted to me that I'm teaching right. He admitted that the white man's the devil, but he was afraid to take a stand and preach that this white man is the devil. The white man has set Reverend Martin King Jr. up with 50,000 Nobel Peace Prize. For this money, the white man desired that Reverend Martin King Jr. go to hell with the devil. The devil did take Reverend Martin King Jr. to hell. If Reverend Martin King Jr. had lasted to this day, he would have been in the same corner with me. The devil had Reverend Martin King Jr. in his powers through fear. But good heart, black brothers, Reverend Martin King Jr. had a good heart. But he was yet dead spiritually. Yet he was smart enough in his studies to see the truth of what I'm saying. So I went down to the coliseums that we had rented for our mass meetings. And I told the public what a great time Reverend Martin King Jr. and I had at my home. I told the public what a great man Reverend Martin King Jr. was. And the white enemy shows Reverend Martin King Jr. what a great man he, the arch-receiver, was. He set Reverend Martin King Jr. up with the prize money. Just as it is written, the arch-receiver is capable of deceiving the whole world, except God's last messenger, the Lamb, the Bible. Self first. Let us try and be ourselves first. and stop trying to be like the devil. Black man, you are created black. You black men are the first and the last. Black men, stop trying to be white. And see, brothers and sisters, we've been trying to be white all our life because today the American designers, the manufacturer can dress you up in about 1/3 of a dress and turn you out partly new. So you can't witness this where the gospel is preached somewhere in the land where there is nudity. See, nudity is originated from the right race, but they want to tell the world that I'm the guide. But the guide to what? Because they lead you into evil and filth. You see, Jeremiah 6:14, they dress the hearts of our people, as though it's serious. You see, peace, peace, they say, when there is no peace. So if you see what Allah God had prepared for the white slave masters, the devil, you will run from the devil when you get a taste of it. Allah God had prepared a fire hell for them. The Holy Quran teaches that the black man will wish that between him and the devil was the distance between east and west. But you serve this devil. You love him because he has made you to fear him from the cradle to the grave. You love this devil. Most of you want to integrate with this devil. Most of you want to befriend this murderer. So if God sends down his judgment on the enemy that he came to destroy, you say, well, no, God, I ain't going with you unless I bring white folks with me. Yes, this is you. Some of you be like, the hell with you, God. I know that there's some good white people. Then you're trying to find yourself busy trying to find someone that you can tell you're God to your own God. See, you remind me of Abraham. See, when Abraham went to the angels and told the angels, will you destroy the righteous with the wicked? He said, well, go see, can you find 50? You find 50, I will not spare the city. You see, Abraham couldn't find 50. Then he said, well, go see, can you find 40? Then he said, well, go see, can you find 30? Then he said, well, go see, can you bring me one outside of Locks and his family? If you can just bring me one, I spare the city. You see, God delays judgment so that the people that he had judged are not worthy of what they bow to get. You see, America's facing a judgment similar to ancient Babylon. So, brothers and sisters, if you like to be caught in her snare, as he set the snare for ancient Babylon, America is in that same snare as ancient Babylon were. So the Holy Quran teach that the black man will wish that between him, the devil was the distance between east and west. East and west. But you serve the devil. You love him because he has made you to fear him from the cradle to the grave, from the cradle to the grave. So you love this devil. You do this devil bidding. Only he can feed and shelter you. This is why the black man must seek himself. He must get out of her thinking, her life, because it brought us in this mess. So wake up and take pride in black self and come on and follow me. You see, I had the God with me. See, the God who says that there is no fear for the one who believes in him, nor shall you grieve. Just think of the blessings that is in those two promises. No fear, no grief. I know we have fear and grief much. So if anybody needs a God to remove fear and grief from us, we are certainly the people. Fear the devil, the white man, is what kept us back from enjoying heaven. If we do think to please the devil, we are most certainly members of hell. See, day and night, they are killing you and each other of their kind. Yet you want to please the devil. You cannot go to heaven pleasing this devil. To go to heaven, you have to please God today. You black men are directly from the God of heaven. Black man, you are created to serve Allah. You was not created to serve this devil. Come and follow me, and there will be no fear for you, nor shall you grieve. We the Muslims fear none but Allah. If anybody needs the fear removed from him, it is the frightened to death black man in America. Self first. We have to seek self first. See, the black man don't know himself unless he seeks self first. The black man. We see the black man for the first time since he had been in this Western atmosphere is accepting himself as a black man and not as a colored man. Although the black man had been colored, now the black man had learned that the coloring was false and that this coloring came from a robber, the devil. After he, the devil himself, had put our black fathers to sleep to this knowledge of the black self, the white man pretty nearly destroyed all of the original color of us. And he added in his own color. Never have we, the black man, been so happy to be called black. In the book, the Bible teach us that God will come in one day and God will choose us, the black people, to be his people. We did not know anything about this false color part that God had in mind to remove from us. But now God is here amongst us, and he is teaching us the knowledge of our color, and we love our own black color. And now we have learned that the color of our enemies has almost destroyed our original black. We are now waking up to the knowledge that black is the first color and the last color, if there be a last. And now that we have learned that the black is a better color, we want to be black. We just do not have a better color than black. Black look good all the time. The beautiful part of black is that we love black. Since we now have the knowledge of the two colors, black and the false color, we are separating the original black color from the false color so that we can preserve our own black color forever. The knowledge of the black self given to us by him who knows us. We all should be happy and rejoicing to know that we, the black people, was never a wicked people until we followed the wicked one, the right man, after his wickedness. God had declared us, the black man, to be the righteous. And God made it plain to see why we are the righteous. We are from the righteous black people by nature. Excuse me. We, the black man, are the righteous by creation. We cannot be other than righteous. It's a happy time of ours, the black man's life. It's a happy time of our life to learn who we are and to learn that who we are, the black man, is the best of people. Under the shadow of death, we, the black lost found of our people here in America, live under a shadow of death by ways of cowardly enemies. Every one of us, the cowardly enemy, seeks our death one way or another. The cowardly enemy will not fight you as a brave man will fight you if they think that you will fight back. They will steal on you when you least expect an attack from them. We live under a shadow of death. We live under a shadow of death. We flee from this cowardly, the enemy, the devil of the South, seeking refuge, and saying cowardly enemy, the brother in the North. We see the enemy, the devil of the South, follow us to the North to see that his brother of the North does not treat us any better than they did in the South. They seek police jobs today so that they can beat and kill us who are trying to escape. They seek to get us killed at any price. See, they do not care about our loyalty to them. In their hearts, there is death for us, the black man in America. This will continue. We don't care who's running, Republican, Democrat. The die is always set against us. For the last centuries, for the last 400 years, history had been repeating itself. 8,000 years, you see this devil been ruling. And ever since then, they seek their police tasks and force brutality on blacks. This is continuing to go on in this United States of America, where we hear the gospel of Jesus preached somewhere in the land, when this had always stuck with us. So we see today they hold out promises to you only to deceive you. They know that Allah God is here offering us to sit us in heaven at once. And since hell is the appointed place, they are trying to get us to go to hell with them on false promises. The devil is trying to get you to go right along with him. They're doing this in the entertainment world. They've been doing this for quite some time. The devil is trying to get you to go right along with him. This is the fall of America. We ain't got to be sitting here waiting for 20, 15, 10 years to fall. It's within a few days. America's falling. She's unraveling. But why have you fallen? Because this nation has become a habitation of devils, a home for every evil person. You see, immorality is now here. And everybody is taking part of that. I have told you, believe it or let alone. We live under this shadow of death all day long. Babies murder. Today we read and hear that white America is agreeing to kill unborn babies. You see, they have set up a law for it. This is the worst sin that you could agree on, to have your baby killed before its birth. What are you going to do that for? He tried to put out an unformed story that you are getting to be too many people here. And we had to cut down the birth rates. We need no need to cut down the birth rates. The black people have no needs to cut down. They need to increase this birth rate today. The earth and the heaven around the earth are ours. Who is going to go hungry? Do you not read the past history of how the righteous are always the winners and victorious people? So will we be the winners and victorious people. We are not thinking of anyone making us hungry unless it is Allah God, who came to feed us. As it is written, my righteous servant shall eat, but you shall go hungry. In America, hunger is starting at you now, unemployment. You cannot buy the food that you used to buy, for you had nothing to buy it with. This is why I plead with you to come join up with me. Let us go to the earth and grow our own food, not to grow walking around the city with a basket for the devil to drop food into. He will not help you, for he will not have any food to drop into his own basket. He have not only food stored, but he have clothes stored. He have cleaner this, but that does not mean that he cannot come to hunger and nakedness. If Allah God strikes at him, Allah God bring the wicked into desolation before they can get started to strike back. Murdering the black babies, only one he should be thinning out is himself. The earth belongs to the black people. What do we look like cutting down on our birth rates? Is there any narrowing of the earth for us? The earth is being expanded for us. There is plenty of earth for us. For Allah God will clear the earth of its wicked population. All of those places will be taken by the Muslims. My God, to pay attention to the right man, let him slaughter the baby before and after their birth. This will be like what the fire worshippers did, who worshiped the fire god Moloch. They took their babies and threw them to the fire to be burnt up, to show the sincerity to the god of fire. See, these was the god of Moloch. See, they took your children in the south, hung them in the billboards, while sitting eating marshmallow, laughing at the burning flesh of God's people. This was wicked. This has stuck with us. And you mean to tell me you want to be partaker with these people that don't have it today? This is why America is falling today. This is why her nation is falling today. See, we can't be at peace with them because peace was never in their nature. You can't live with them. You can't get a home today because peace today was never in these right race of people. And are you going to the enemy of the black man to have him deprive you of giving birth to a black baby, to let him kill it in your worship of him? Do not you think that you are acting like a mighty big fool? I think that you are. This is our earth. Had they squeezed it up so that there is no place to live except they kill off the black people, no black brothers and black sisters? I hope that you read this and understand that we, the black people, are the true owners, and God is giving our earth back to us. He promised this. He says the meek shall inherit the earth. He will give this earth back to us, but we have to be patient to receive what he's going to give to us. This is what he means, as well as the spiritual religion of us. When he said, accept your own. This is our earth. He is telling you to accept it. He will give it to you. We see the Bible teach that the meek shall inherit the earth, the humble poor people. They would get the earth, for it belongs to them. We have parables in the Bible which the writer of the history of Jesus tells us was spoken by Jesus. The parable of the lost sheep and the son. They returned and became the owners. This only means you and me. Why do not we take our place? Why should we give our babies to the enemies to be destroyed? Because he says, you had nothing to feed them with. Follow me and I'll show you. You get more houses than you need and more money than you can spend. Help me, brothers, and Allah God will not deprive you of your good reward. I know you understand. What we do for Allah God, he will do it for us. In this day and time, we are all tired. The wicked and the righteous are both tired. What sin has the poor black baby done for you to murder it in your room? He had done nothing. It will come back to you in a terrifying way. Your conscience will condemn you for doing such. All of our evil will come before us. Let us not be such fools as to think that we have to cast our babies to the arm of a murderer to murder them for excuse that he needs to do so in order to feed and house you. No place is crowded but the city. There's plenty of room in the countries. The black man has never had a problem. Look at China and India. They do not destroy their babies just because they do not have money. They try to have means to take care of them. China take care of her population. Indian does not take care of hers because she depends on Britain and other white people. We must remember that the white race have no part and no share in our earth. They only have time to live on our earth. They did not have a share of actual earth itself. So let us not kill our black people for just the action of a murderer who was made to murder us. I warn you, do not think hard of him for doing what he was made for. But I do fault you for following him and what he was made for. When John F. Kennedy spoke out for the Negro, so when you see Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy spoke out for the so-called Negro, received from the death of Abraham Lincoln, rest in peace, and to the assassination of President Kennedy, rest in peace. It proved that on each one of these occasions was outlaws, overruled legal authorities. It was in the case of presidents who opened their mouths and said something favorable for the so-called Negro. I'm not saying that this was the reason President Kennedy was assassinated, but it seemed very strange that every president who says something favorable for the so-called Negro paid for it with his life. I love Kennedy, man. I love him. I miss him because that's one of my favorite presidents, man. We also can suscitate this by the facts today that any Negro wants to lead the so-called Negro into a better life towards true peace, freedom, justice, and equality, which he is entitled to enjoy, is also subject to the same kind of assassination or attempt at assassination. I know these to be facts. There are some who seem not to want a true freedom, who will also speak unfavorable and plan unfavorable action against those who dare to lead a true struggle for justice and equality. The tragic death of President Kennedy should serve as a warning to all rulers and people of value. That value cannot be trusted openly in the presence of thieves and robbers. There had never been a president elected to such high office who had the hearts of everyone for him, and never was there a king who had the people wholeheartedly with him, regardless of how good the king, the president, prime minister, or the spokesman for the king or president. There may be some people who do not like the higher official holding top office of the nation. I think that they should be well protected and all precautionary steps should be taken to ensure such person's safety. Riding an open car or riding openly in the public is usually a needless risk taken by anyone holding such high office, especially when they are political officials. Those spiritual teachers, such as prophet of God and messengers, their life have not been spared in the public, according to recorded history of their life of these characters. They are both friends and enemies of public service. We must be aware of them. Such outlaw action permitted in America is a disgrace and shame to the governments and to people who are recognized as world leaders, an example of what others should do in the way of friendship and cooperations. With the great scientific advancements that America has made, it does not seem possible in this modern time that the tragedy that took place on the 22nd of November should have happened. It's a long way from the assassination of President William McKinley. There are 62 years between the two assassinations of presidents in the United States of America. With such great advancements in the scientists of protection, these things should have never happened. Again, it shows to the world that the governments of America and its people are actually given to such outlaw and violent actions. To take human life at will, disregarding their own legal law against such action, makes the country be classified as a country of governments of outlaws, where people have no safety of their lives under laws which claim to safeguard the life of human beings. The natural election. The black men of America have been privileged for the white slave master children for the last centuries to vote for whites for office to judge and rule. This freedom to vote had made the black man in America feel very identified and proud of himself. He goes to the poll very happy to vote for a white ruler. Today, he is gradually changing to a desire to vote for his own kind for such office of authority. We must remember that our vote is strong and powerful only when and where the white man can use it to get in the office over his white opponents. At the election and the victory, there are very few favors that come from his office to the black voters who helped and aid him in getting in office. Why? Because he does not own the black voters anything as long as he has to feed, clothe, and shelter him. The black vote could be cash or not cash. The white citizens of the governments are going to win and continue to rule anyway. See, this is how Pharaoh's political party was. Pharaoh refused to give up his possession, so America is going to be refusing to give up her possession, her concession. She's willing to go to war. You see, this is how Pharaoh did. And see, this is going to mean plenty of bloodshed to God put his final judgment on this world. We will be set free. We will be set free. Believe me, America have no departure. And if I say this to you, she have no future for herself. What makes you think she have a future for you today when she don't have a future here? See, there is much talk of this man, and that man who shall the vote of the people put in this White House for the next 4 years. How much good have the two parties we see, Republicans and Democrats, done for us for the last centuries in a way of freedom, justice, and equality? Regardless of what party wins, the die is always set against us, the black people, in America. Unjust politics and a breathing of corruption under politics that have been practiced ever since Adam, to the present day ruler. Adam was the first. There have not been justice for this black man and his race of people. And this is why the race suffered from the fact of today. This is why they suffering through these storms and plagues. Nobody have no sympathy. We shouldn't have no sympathy for people that don't have sympathy for your people. There are black politicians today who like to use their black people for selfish greed and will throw them behind with money. Black politicians of this type have sold their black people to suffer shame for self-evaluation with the crop. This election we see is one of the most serious in the history of American governments because neither party that seeks the office of presidency is faced with the problem of saving the life of the people of America. If the present party, Democrat, remain in office, you know the answer. If the Republican Party takes over, you should know the answer. There will be a lull before the storm. The storm can be delayed in every hour and day that it can be delayed is to your benefits. The black man should be very serious and careful about his voting because 90% of this black vote cast are cast by one who did not have the knowledge of what they are casting their votes for. I still say, as I said for many years, vote for Allah God to be your ruler and come follow me. The dead are rising, they seek their own. The dead are we, the black one slave of this white man of America. We are a mentally dead people. We are dead to the knowledge of self and others. The knowledge of self has now come to us from God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is a man. His teaching brings us into reality, and not to some kind of spooky, or spirit, or ghost-like teachings. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the all-wise living God. Desire that we see him as he is, a human being, and not something beyond the families of human beings spooksome. See, we can never ask a forming spirit to lead us, because we are not a forming spirit ourselves. Man can only listen to man. Man cannot listen to other than man. And I have proof we were just Nabal was able to obey anything but ourselves. We, the once dead, mentally are coming to a knowledge of life. When we learn this lesson of the living, it will destroy the breed other than ourselves. See, bringing us up in slavery times, putting us into a mental death was something that this slave master and his children did because of their desire to make us into something that was other than the truth in order to be able to keep our minds enslaved. From the visit of God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, time now hath come to us as it is written, that on the day of judgment we shall see God as he is. The Bible, Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. The rise of the dead does not by any means mean what you and I was taught. We were little boys and little girls. Even while we were little boys and little girls, and man and woman, age, we are still pushed on the baby side for understanding of the truth. We, the black people, are no longer babies. We are babies to no one except God himself. You are fast learning that you are not babies anymore. When you rise up from the dead knowledge of black self and others. You are learning fast that Allah God is fast in creating us in a new way of thinking. From the way in which we have been thinking was in a way of untruth, an unseemly way of understanding. America is a country where evil is dominant today, and the people in America think nothing but evil. It is very solemn that you can talk to a person without getting a thought quickly that their mind is filled with evil. We, the black people in America, are called dead spiritually. And we, the black people in America, now desire to make for ourselves something better than what the slave master children have made of us. We want to make something better of ourselves than what the slave master children still do make of us. Look at the many people who used to be stage actors who are now forsaking the stage as being a mockery. to them, and now former stage actors who want to seen and convert with as civilized black people, and not as some kind of a stage actor. The white stage actors are with some sense because they are civilized. And meanness act is not enjoyed by people who are intelligently learned into the knowledge of civilization. But the poor black man in America have no knowledge of any civilization. But the white man have gotten to all of the civilized people there. He knows them and they know him. This is why now a war between civilization must take place, because the present ruler, right race, have deceived the whole entire civilized world with their civilization of deceits. The white race was made for the purpose of making mischief. The white race was made for the purpose of deceits. And now the Almighty God has come to make manifest that which had been hidden of the truth is run the white man from under his deceitful blanket, which he had the white man covered. And as the Bible teaches us, God will pull the cover off of their covers and show the nation his white race shame. If the white man had not been uncovered by Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, I do not see any cover left for the white man's skin. But Allah God is pulling the cover off of this right race. This make it possible for us, the black people, who is dead to the knowledge of the truth, to see the natural characteristics of this deadly white enemy of the black man. Now we can stun our enemies like we do a rattlesnake. When we see the rattlesnake or hear his rattle sting, we begin to try and seek cover from the rattlesnake if we are not able to kill. For we know his deadly sting. But this snake, right race, have overtaken us. He has bitten us so many times that we have become so poisoned from his poison getting into our blood, from his sting, that it has taken God now to come to prevent the snake from continuing to sting us. Allah God has that cure for being bitten by the snake. He will separate both of us from being involved with each other, so that snake poison sting will not affect us. The black man in America never knew anyone but the right race. Therefore, the black man seek pacification and mercy from a people. You cannot blame the white man for what he is. You cannot blame him for being what he is. For the white people has made the people that they are. And the white man had made us, the black man, other than our own self. At the present time, we are not like we were when we was created. In the beginning, we was created right. And then we was deceived by a deceiver, who was made a deceiver by nature. Shalom to you. Shalom to you, Bull Nation. Our black people are rising up, and we are happy to rise to the knowledge of self and others. The rise of the dead will be like the blast of a trumpet pretty soon. The black people will be coming into the knowledge of themselves so fast that it will look like the rise of the dead has taken place at once. I just love to look at my black people now, and all of them are rising. And listen to them talk, you see how much different they are. My black people must get out of these white man's names. My black people must be qualified to enter the original names, the Almighty God, Allah. Come to the temple of Islam and learn all about yourself. After learn all about yourself, you will be able to take those who enslave you and warp them around your little fingers. And you will not feel them on your little fingers until you see them on your little fingers and snake them off. See, Allah God love you and I love you. We want to build up this world for ourselves, to live in this world in peace and happiness. The resurrection of our people. We see this old world must be removed to make a way for a new world. There's a universal struggle being waged by the old world against the beginning of a new world. Will the old world opposition prevent the establishment of a new world? According to recorded history, the effort being made by the old world against the beginning of a new world will fail as their former opponents of Allah. According to the history of Noah, the people ridiculed the very thought of Allah, bringing a flood to drown them. You see, Noah was laughed at and succumb for preaching such a doctrine. According to the Bible and Holy Quran, he was called a liar and looked upon as a crazy person. See, some of the members of Noah's family joined the mockers and disbelievers of Allah and his messengers, who is Noah, that met the same fate as the others who disbelieved it. The opposition of that world to an event of a better world was total, a failure. So shall it be with those today who oppose the beginning of a new world of righteousness, Islam, the time of Abraham and his nephew Lot, before the birth of Ismail, Isaac, and Abraham, two sons, the people mockers and haters of truth and righteousness in that part of the world. The city of Sodom and Gomorrah had become victimized to every imaginable evil. They even threatened the life of the preacher of righteousness, Lot, disregarding strangers. The angel visited Lot until it was too late. So it is with opponents of the messenger of Allah today in America. The wicked always believe that they are mightier than Allah, and they make a supreme effort to thwart the plan and purpose of Allah to bring about a better world. They always love to attack the messengers to try to condemn him as a liar. Trying to prove the messenger a liar means calling Allah a liar. The Holy Quran repeatedly prophesied a miserable, shameful, disgraceful defeat for the disbelievers and hypocrites in their campaign against the last messenger of Allah, whom Allah will raise in the time of the resurrection of the dead people, in the time of the resurrection of the dead people. The messengers are never sent. They are always arise in the midst of those whom Allah will warn, so that they can't claim that they did not understand the language of the messengers or say that he was a foreigner or stranger. The messenger is one for them. For nearly 34 years, I have served you, just as Allah, a warner of old, served a hard-headed, disbelieving people who was great lovers of the enemies of Allah, the true religion of Islam, which means entire submission to Allah's will. There is mockery and evil plans are made against my life by the wicked, just as there was made against Noah, the prophets. The powerful and rich world of Christianity, especially America, is made to seem as movable as the mountains. But it's not impossible to remove mountains. They can be removed by high explosives. So wealth and power also can be reduced to nothing. We are now living in the judgment or doom of this white man's world. See, preparation had been made to meet every effort by the white man to oppose the beginning and setting up of Allah's new world of righteousness, Islam. We see the government of USA today watch my followers with an evil eye, seeking to deceive anyone who will enter the fold to help further the cause of truth and upliftment and the mourning heads and the grieving hearts of the American so-called Negro, to help make them a nation of righteousness and justice to serve as a star for their nation and their own kind forever. The U.S. government is active in its deceitful work, trying to slow the progress of the resurrection of our people. America whites want us to reject Allah and the true religion of Islam and believe in their false religion and false gods whom they cannot make manifest to you. They cannot prove to you in this day and time that Christianity is a defense for you, as well as for themselves against their doom. America must be taken and destroyed, according to the prophets, at the time and end of this wicked world, where the lost and found members of the ancient people are found. America hates and mistreats her slaves to the extent that have reached the hearts of Allah and the righteous people of the earth, the nation of Islam. We read where our black brothers refer to the American so-called Negro as their brothers, while according to the preaching of some of these lost and found members of the nation of the earth, they rather have themselves referred to as their brothers or their enemies. The extent to which the enemy had poisoned the minds and hearts of my people here in America is shameful They willfully do anything to deceive the so-called, to going to their doom with them. There is no way for the enemy of Allah, his master and his people, the dark people of the earth, to find strength, power, and wisdom enough to win in a war against Allah, as it is written in the Christian Bible and many other places. But in the days of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and you with the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with a fervent heat. The earth also and the work therein shall be burnt up. The Bible, Peter chapter 3:10. The earth shall not be burnt up. It will be here for many thousand years to come. Only that on the earth the devil which has sinned against Allah, his laws will be destroyed. The earth, the sun, the moon, and the stars have never disobeyed Allah since their creation. The poser of truth. So we see the poser of truth. Adam, Eve, the father and mother of this right race, refused the religion of Islam, peace, because of their nature in which they was made. This make it impossible for the right race to submit to Allah and obey his laws of righteousness. This, the lost found members of the nation from the tribe must learn of the right race, that it is a race of trying to seek mercy and justice from a people who by nature do not have it for each other. They talk and preach the goodness of God and his prophets only to deceive you, who by nature are the God of righteousness, and to fall them away from our God to a God who does not exist. Our future is at stake, and 99% of us do not know it. With every evil spoon around you seeking an excuse to do their worst to you, make it hard for 99% ignorant to ever know the truth. The greatest desire is to prevent you from ever accepting the truth. They claim the truth, but they hate teachings. They seek any kind of charge to place against us to get revenge for our preaching the truth. They tap our telephones and follow us around from place to place, and you tape recording machines. The hypocrites, stool pigeons amongst us, keep them updated on what we say and do. They are bold enough to even ask your own relative to help them to do you evil and due to fear and ignorancy on the parts of my poor people. Enemy hired them to destroy themselves. Truth hurts the guilty. Will persecution, murdering of the truth bears help the evildoers in his late hour of the day, the end of their time? Our problem must be solved, says Allah, the God of righteousness, who is with you and me to raise us up, the poor lost and found members of the original owners of the planet Earth. The tribe, a good solution is as follows. Stop proposing the spread of Islam peace amongst us. Let us go back to our God, Allah, and our religion of Islam peace, since you will not give us the so-called equal justice, and do not want social mixing with your free slave, because of degrading and lowering your own status in the eyes of the world. Help us to go for ourselves, neither out or in your countries. For 400 years we have served you with our labor, sweat, blood, the last of your wood, the killing, lynching, and burning of our innocent black flesh, without even a hearing and a court of justice, nor even our murders being punished, although we are marched before your enemies, and there we pour our life for the freedom of your life, children in your country. Return home to meet an even worse enemy. We are hated and kicked out in certain places like an unwanted dog, who have caught the game, but was not given a taste of it. Only that, with the hunter, could not and should not eat himself. The dog, being too ignorant to recognize the injustice done to him by his master, would jump to his feet again at the call of his master to offer his life for his master life. This we have and are still are doing for you. We are not wanted in your better neighborhoods. In many places, we have to be guarded and protected by your armed force in order to live in the house which one of your kind has sold to us. Yet we are the most peaceful and honest of the population. We are taxed equally and perhaps more than those of our own kind, who are the real citizen owners of this country of America. through our labors, and the labors of our Father made and built it for you. Think over it. Millions of us working, fighting, dying at your hands, and others for 400 years without a home, which we can call home, not being allowed to worship our God religion, nor have unity among self and our kind without being charged with the worst crime, and seeking to overthrow the government by force, though we have no arms to do such, just to have an excuse for you persecuting, seeking to kill the same poor 400-year-old slave. The deceivers and the deceived. We, the whole nation of the lost found members of the black nation in America, must remember that for the past 400 years, we have been wearied by the enemies of our fathers, according to their own history writing, bringing us from our native lands and people into the western hemisphere was not for the purpose of making themselves friendly people to us and our nation, but to deceive us as being that which they actually were, not a friend and advisor to us, while at the same time depriving us of truth, justice, and equality. Even now, after 400 years of servitude, slavery, we must remember that the deceiver actually had deceived us. The coming of God and the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever, is to make manifest this arch deceiver, work against us, and to equip us with the nature of the arch deceiver. That deceit is part of his very nature. The Allah comes to give us the knowledge of the God of evil, who have freedom for the past 6,000 years to deceive not only you and me, but also the entire nation of the earth. This is the greatest starvation that God Allah could bring to you and me, to know the source of our trouble and cause. The power of the manifestator is to remove this cause, which has affected the black nation for 6,000 years. It is worse to heaven and earth to us when we agree on that, trying to make them our friends, which by nature they cannot be, even if they wanted to. Only a few have the brief of goodness. By nature, they are not good, but they can practice goodness. Our predicament position makes us the victim of deceits of these great scientific deceivers, the right race. They put us to sleep as babies, and they know the type of noise that awakens the sleeping baby. Noise is that which Allah and the person of Master Fala Muhammad has made. He Allah has missioned me to continue to make that noise until all our people are fully awakened from the slumber of the arch deceiver of the nation of the earth. Surely not all are really working to keep us blind, deaf, and dumb to the knowledge of the deceivers, but the few who will help us endanger their own life and trying to help us. As you see, the Christian priests in Milwaukee profess to be trying to help those who want to live next door in the house of the children of our father's slave master is having trouble. Even this easily can be classified as deceitful work against truth, freedom, justice, and equality for our people. This priest is having trouble amongst our open, victorious haters of you and me of his kind. This priest wants to help this poor black man here in America, especially Milwaukee, to accept false friendship, to ever be at their mercy to rule spiritually, economically, and politically. He is not trying to teach this black man that they should not want to sell themselves back to their slave masters for a morsel or pottage. This priest knows by the scriptures in his Bible that the time is right for the total freedom of the 400-year-old slave of this white man to go to his own earth. The priest is wise to you that you shall have a place to live wherever you want. He will not have dared teach this openly before this day and time, the end of this world. The others are so evil and victorious to do us harm that great gang of white people out in the streets would attack that one poor black man going through the area in his car and would yell, "Get that nigga." This is a coward action of the white man in America ever since we have been here, going after the so-called nigger to do him harm. He always wanted 100 rights to attack that one nigger. This shows cowardice and savage attempts of the white race against black people. The black man can put a stop to such a tackle of this evil force, but it's not the way of Allah God. It's not the way of the prediction, as the priest knows. The coming of Allah in search for the black lost members of their nation today is to make himself known so he can conquer our captors by using weapons against which they have no power. The Allah will bring the attack of divine judgment of the world without the use of contrived weapons. The weapons of war used by God in the past history of destruction of the enemy of God, such as Noah's people, Lot's people, and Moses' people, are example of what he will use today, are example of what he will use today. The weapons are the force of nature against which we have no defense. America is under such divine attack now in storms as rain, hail, and earthquakes. The latter is yet to take place. A terrific drought is on its way to against America. The books must be fulfilled. The Bible and Holy Quran both refer to all that I have said. This is the divine judgment to bring victorious America to her knees. See, America hates the people of God, and the Negro do not know that they are really the people of God. This is the great truth that you must come to a knowledge of, that you are a member of the families of God, and not the members of the families of the devil, but you follow devil's country to your own nature. The natural man black is of his God himself. We have been deceived of righteousness, justice, and equality by the art deceivers. We have been taken from the knowledge of self as being the true people of God, and that God is present seeking us to place us again into the orbit of divine supreme being, where we can rotate in submission to the will of God as the entire universe is doing, except the right race. We cannot set up a better government for our people by using this corrupt political activities of this people, the arch deceivers. All of their work was based upon deceiving the nations, not to bring them into friendly brotherhood and prosperity for the black man. Even today, after 400 years of the so-called freedom, he is still against you going free. This is your trouble today. You are deceived and deceived by the enemy you think is a friend. But take notes of what he offers you. He is offering you only a temporary enjoyment and not a permanent enjoyment for your people. We want some earth and not a temporary room in the house of our enemies. Let the political and spiritual leaders unite on such a stand as getting some earth for the people and not getting just a job and a chance to low around sleeping, allowing the enemy to protect our responsibility for self. We must bear our own responsibilities. This, the God of justice and truth, will force you to do before he will be defeated. His purpose and aim is to unite us to our own. He will fight the arch deceiver with the force of nature, of his own wisdom, which has no equal, to make you enemy bow to his will. This is the judgment of the world, especially of the white man in America, who have been here for 400 years, living between the two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, to do as he pleases. The slave is deprived of freedom to do as he pleases, but to do as his slave master please. Our great misunderstanding of self and of others lies the deceits of the arch deceivers of us. They will never teach you and me to do good for self, only under their own power and dictatorship. What we need is to unite, not the man that marching all over the country to live near this white man in his home, but the man to separate place for us in this country to help us with the means of civilization. As he had to get started limited time to get started within the next 20 or 25 years. Many scientists think that it's too late for this demand because of the anger of Allah God against America for evil done to us. But Allah has power over all things, and he does that which he will to do. It is up to America if she wants to help us. It would be a great good putting us on the way to self by any evil one or nation, God the justice will grant them reward for doing such, as no good act goes without its reward. They deceive the so-called nigga under temptation, filth, and the promise that they will be given jobs, new homes next door to them, in the same territory which their very nature is against, and which is without any future. It's temporary, Jordan. We want some permanent. Give us a few of these states to live to ourselves, which we have well earned with 400 years of free labor. When you see that his life and your life are at stake to try to accept the present plan, filled with deceits to a nigga, both you and he will welcome an opportunity to agree on that kind of program. Unite with me, Black America, for your starvation. Evil is spreading far and wide. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. You guys make sure you guys follow me on Kafani YouTube channel. Make sure you guys follow me. Kafani1826. Make sure you visit my YouTube channel. Till then, I see you. Peace. So long. Keep God in your life. Thank you guys for tuning in.